What's up, everybody? It's Dr. Huelapeo from Huelapeo Studios, and I just wanted to give you guys a quick sketchbook tour of the sketchbook I've had for about 2 years now. It's pretty much filled up. As you can see, I titled it The Foundation. The whole idea behind this sketchbook was just exactly what the name entitled, just foundation of my art and my animation. Basically just a practice playground for me. So let's go ahead and get started. First couple pages, I had this whole idea of filling every page with something epic, and I just wanted to get the pressure off on this one. This is, as you can see, a super playful sketch, just random stuff that was coming to me in my head. I would start drawing lines, and then from the lines I would go and make something out of it. So it doesn't really look like anything but a bunch of random crap in my head. But and then obviously I didn't use anything that would not bleed to the page, so you can see it there. And then you have another sketch here again. Skulls. I've always liked to draw skulls. I don't know why. Everybody says I'm obsessed with them. And then once I heard like 1 or 2 people tell me that I was obsessed with skulls, I'm like, you know what? I am obsessed with skulls. So kept drawing skulls. And then I saw this really cute Buddha one time. That was a dog, and I decided to draw like a little cartoon version of it. Here's some just practice exercises, drawing cylinders, 3D shapes, a torso. Again, some skulls. A little light here, just keeping them real loose. Here's just some notes that I had from my social media on my account. And here, getting into here is from one of my very first animations I ever made, like a full-blown animation. It's actually the first video on my channel. It was supposed to be the intro to my channel, to Dold, which was my previous name online, Dold. But I went ahead and changed it to Huelapeo Studios. But as you can see here, is just a quick storyboard. I have some notes here. Skull greets you. This used to be it's still my character. I called him the narrator. And here's some more storyboards that bled over through the next page. So I use these index cards to make them look real nice, because I was obsessed with making my sketchbook look perfect when I realized it wasn't really about looking perfect. It was just about getting ideas down on paper. But here's some more storyboards. You can see that I have the narrator just explaining basically what Dold is about. At this point, I didn't even know what Dold was about. I was just making a funny video in my head, honestly. But yeah, if I can go back and animate the video again, I will, because if you go back in it, it's a little bit choppy, but I'm still happy with how it came out. I got my idea out through the page. Some more scribbles and scrabbles here from just drawing circles, cylinders. Here I was just trying to fill a page, and I wanted to color. I got these coloring pencils that my girlfriend gave me, and I just really wanted to color something. I'm like, I'm gonna make myself a coloring book page, and I made just random things that I thought of. And here's a picture that I drew of my dog. She was holding this Kong. It's actually a video on my page, and I just turned it into like a little cartoon, little guy or whatever here. Another sketch I drew, my friend was telling me about one of his friends that used to be a Boy Scout, and how he basically found out it was like a little mini cult. And I'm like, yeah, dude, everything is basically cult. And for some reason, the story stuck with me, so I drew this. A little Boy Scout pleading to his cult. And then around this time, Batman was coming out, and I really liked the movie. I liked the arts, the direction of the movie, like the whole horror feel, and I wanted to draw like my own like little announcement trailer for it. So here's some sketches of me trying to draw the Batman. This is ultimately the face I ended up with. This is what was supposed to be behind the mask. I never ended up animating him taking off the mask or anything, but you can see here all my thought process, more torsos. Whenever I don't know what to draw, I just either draw cylinders, torsos, anything to get some practice in. This sketch was actually just a post that I made for the song that JID made called Off the Zoinkies. Basically talks about getting off substances, and substance abuse. Here's some more torsos. Here's some expressions actually. I don't know, it's probably not super recognizable, but there was this show called Love is Blind. I'm sure all of you have heard of it. There was this guy, I forgot what his name was, but this guy looked like he was always on edge. And during his scene where he was on the altar, he was just going through it. And I'm like, I have to draw this man's emotions. As you can see right here, he's confused and angry. I don't even know what is going on. Right here, he's sad, thoughtful. Here he's like, just the nerves of this man. You can barely tell what his emotions are, because there's just so much going on. And if you watch the show, it was a white guy with like blonde hair. I'm sure everyone who's seen the show probably knows what I'm talking about. He was like in love with that lady that had like the Trump face. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but anyways, more torsos. This was actually a drawing I made for my friend. His birthday was coming up. Super huge Mario fan, and it was also Mario Day coming up. And I like to skateboard, so I made Mario into a skateboarder, and I actually have a digital version of this that I printed out and gave to him as a poster. It's all full colored up and stuff. It looks pretty cool. I'm really happy how that came out. Another random drawing that I did, I found out that I really like drawing animals in like weird little ways, so I made this Dr. Cristata. The name of the bird was Krista something, and I'm like, that's a cool name, and I thought it could be like a cool scientist maybe, so I made him like an evil scientist, Eggman style, where he's like, you know, working with technology, super evil genius. More torsos again, a random sketch that I wanted to do for St. Patrick's Day. I don't think I ended up doing it. I think I went with something else, more torsos. And this sketch actually is for a challenge I did for an artist named 1000. I'm sure most artists that like YouTubers and stuff like that would know who 1000 is, but yeah, the challenge was basically a character design challenge. He gave us a prompt, and you were supposed to design a character. I didn't win the challenge, but I still had a lot of fun. You can see the final version on my page as well. His name was, I don't remember what his name was, but you'll see this face, and he's wearing like a cool orange and brown kind of style, more torsos. It was like a chocolate or coffee stain or something. And this was actually the beginning of one of my very first small animations, apart from the old one I showed you guys earlier. I really like this song called Walk by Denzel Curry. And I wanted to make an animation to commemorate like the video where he's like a cowboy in the Wild Wild West, just walking through all his trials and tribulations. I made a bunch of like storyboards here, trying to figure out the walk poses and all that stuff, trying to figure out his face. You can see here I made a little face where his eyes were gonna cry, like an iridescence color. I didn't end up animating that. Maybe I can still go back to it and do it. And here's just some thumbnails, trying to figure out what I was gonna do with the background. Again, more torsos. This is a little hand study I did a while ago because I noticed I was struggling with hands. I still need to go back and do more hand studies because it's something I still struggle with to this day. I'm sure many artists can relate. Hands are hard to draw. Some more expression exercises. I really like drawing expressions just because, you know, when you animate, the main thing that you're kind of trying to drive and like sell is the emotion of the character that's 2D, and it's something that you have to practice a lot. So I tried drawing in different shapes and stuff just to like have some fun with it. You can actually see the full digital version of all these on my page as well. Another hand study I did back in the day. I drew an unaliving weapon there. And here are just some fun drawings that I did from some comic books that I had and some art books that I had. This is Cyborg from Teen Titans. Goku, obviously. I have no idea who this is. I forgot who that was. He was just in a comic book, and it was a Snickers ad, so that's why you see the candy bar there. He's trying to eat it. And that's one thing I used to love about comic books, that the ads were like themed with the actual characters in the book. So when I saw the ad, I'm like, oh, I have to draw this. Just more practice drawing shapes, just drawing my dog, just very loose while she was moving around. Here's another storyboard actually that I didn't end up making. I actually had a lot of notes here. I was gonna do like a whole video where I was gonna mix real life with one of my characters, animated characters, and he was gonna interact with me. So you can see here I have some dialogue written down. You can see here's the narrator once again. He was gonna be like my main driving character in my channel. I'm talking to the narrator. He's gonna give me like a plan, whatever. And there it basically ends. I didn't really know where to take the story, so I kind of gave up on it. And here's another Dragon Ball Z fan. If you can't tell already, I'm a huge Dragon Ball Z, another Dragon Ball Z page, I'm sorry. If you can't tell already, I'm a huge Dragon Ball Z fan, so I like drawing Dragon Ball Z characters. More torsos and stuff here on this page. This was just a page I did. I had these markers that I had bought and I wanted to test them out, so you can see like I'm trying to test out the colors and whatnot. I drew this random little dog guy. I don't know why, but just random. This is actually a drawing I did that I ended up turning into a sticker. When I actually got the final sticker, I wasn't happy with the quality of it, so I never ended up advertising it or anything. But this is actually supposed to be Bad Bunny's debut in WrestleMania, where he has like the 3 little balls and stuff like that on his head. It was really cool, so I wanted to draw it. More practice. These are hip practices, just like basic shapes. This is a Kirby I drew for my girlfriend. She really likes Kirby. More drawings of my dogs. I love drawing my dogs. They're so expressive to me, and I don't know, they're just super fun to draw. less pressure than drawing a human because they can't tell you that it doesn't look anything like them and that it's ugly. So this was my dog just rolling over, looking crazy as she usually does. More practice of doing the hip. At that point I was tired of the torsos. And here's just like a little practice exercise I did for myself of drawing the hip and the torso together, no arms because I hadn't been practicing arms yet. But I wanted to make like a robot, and obviously since he's nothing but torso and hip, I figured he'd be a little sad, so I made him cry and stuff. More hips, more storyboard stuff from that previous video. Previous storyboard that didn't end up making into a video. And this was a sticker that I was working on for one of my favorite songs from Brockhampton called Sweet. One of my favorite verses from this guy, his name's Joba. Super talented artist, so I wanted to make like a sticker and make it go with like the lyrics of the song. Here I was just drawing basic shapes. I was practicing drawing my phone. I was kind of just bored. I actually really love this drawing just because it looks so intense, like the way that he's looking. And if you've ever seen Trailer Park Boys, you know who this is. This is Bubbles. And he's saying, "Here, kitty, kitty," because he's obsessed with cats. This is Ricky. I didn't actually end up inking him because I wasn't too happy with my sketch, but yep, this is another random sketch. Another sketch here with some random shapes. I was drawing a cup that I had on my desk and circles, just practicing drawing circles. And this is a turnaround cycle for our narrator character. And if you've seen on my page, you can see that I have a video where I do like a little stop motion. I don't know if they call it stop motion, but like a little stop motion animation of all these drawings and like my book coming in. Another random page here of just me drawing skulls, little guys singing at a bar. There's an octopus serving drinks back here. This guy's having a blast. You can barely see his face, but I'm sure he's having a blast. Here you can see I have another page of skulls. This guy's here jamming out. Got an octopus serving drinks in the background. And here I was trying to experiment with different expressions on the skull character that I was using. Obviously, since he doesn't have a mouth and eyebrows, it's kind of hard to sell the expression. So I really wanted to put some practice in. You can see some here aren't that great. Some are okay. Like this one, he's obviously angry. He's like worried. Here he's supposed to be like blushing, so I was gonna make like little red marks here. This one where he's sad, you can see his eyes kind of indent inwards. This one he's like amazed and wow, that's why you see the stars. Basically just experimental stuff. This page right here, I actually remember exactly when I drew it and why I drew it. I went to this Circus Soleil show called Drawn to Life, and it was a gift from my girlfriend for my birthday, and she bought me a super nice sketchbook. She bought me the Disney's animator guide or whatever. It's this huge like animation Bible basically. I still have it and use it to this day. I love that book. It's super pretty. It's one of the coolest books I'll ever own. And I also got a box for myself of these epic black wing pencils here. They're super nice to draw with. I actually drew that with this, not with this pencil specifically. The pencil that I drew with this picture with is probably about this big now. But yeah, I was just trying to practice, and I kind of had like I just wanted to go for the same vibe of the show of like bringing something to life on the paper and just making a lot of motion. So you can kind of see, it's not really like a complete sketch, but you can kind of see there's a little wizard here, and he's got a pencil that's bringing his ideas to life or whatever. And here we're finally getting into some actually good stuff. This is the beginning stages of my Poop or Else animation. If you've seen it on YouTube or any of my social media platforms, it's about my dog and my girlfriend struggling to get him to use the bathroom, but you can see some very early stages of storyboarding. I have some more final ones here, and just some very basic notes of like the setting and the characters that are going to be, the plot. And here I was just doing more of this basic storyboard because at the point it was just like an idea that I had like thought about, and I wanted to really get it down on paper. So I'm like, let me get it super basic, and then I'll make it more concrete later. And here's some character design for my dog in the short. You can see some early stages of him, just me trying to figure out how realistic, how cartoony I wanted to make him. I ended up making him way more cartoony because obviously it just makes more sense for the medium that I was going for here. Some more stages. I was trying to, get an idea for how I was going to draw my girlfriend's character in the short, and this is then the one that I was the happiest with. Obviously you can tell by like how I sketched it out. I kind of finished the sketch. This is a random logo that I was designing one day. Nothing crazy there. Some more sketches of the character for the short. And here are some more bigger storyboards where I was trying to plan out like the layout and the setting where the whole animation was gonna take place. You can see the perspective grid a little bit there. I'm trying to zoom out so I can give myself an idea when I actually start animating. Here's the actual finished zoom out of the setting. And I was trying to get the proportions here, just drawing stick figures. Again, very early stages of this short. Here I'm like, okay, I'm kind of bored of drawing storyboards and all that stuff. Let me try to draw something fun. So I'm like here trying to figure out what I'm gonna do for the title screen. If you've seen it, obviously you know this is more or less what it ended up looking like, the Poop or Else words. And then here we got some more character design. This is just a little skull having a birthday. I was thinking about doing a birthday post for myself. So I was gonna do like a little animation of this narrator wishing me happy birthday. I never ended up doing it because it's too much work. And then here we're actually getting to the final, like where I wanted to really make a clear vision for what I wanted to do for this project. So you can see I'm storyboarding. My sketches are a lot more defined. I'm kind of telling myself, okay, he's gonna go from here to over here. She's gonna be standing here. Okay, we got him over here panting. He's sniffing the grass. If you've seen the short, you've seen all these shots. I didn't end up doing this shot because I was like, this looks awkward. I don't know how I'm gonna animate that. More shots here. We can see that he's like trying to stall time. Just more storyboards, really defined here, giving myself a good foundation for when I start animating. I don't have to worry too much about figuring those things out. Some notes, set and pause, a far away back shot. And then this was a surprise ending. I didn't even tell my girlfriend when I was writing this short. She already obviously had an idea because we talked about it a lot. But the surprise ending where she ends up shooting the poop, everybody loved that part. This was supposed to be like the poster I made for the actual short. I think I posted it with the trailer. More of that logo I showed you guys earlier. It didn't end up actually coming to fruition, but more sketches of random shapes, cylinders. Like I said, whenever I don't know what to draw, I just want to put pencil to paper, just draw circles, cylinders, whatever, just to get the reps in, because they're always good. And then this, me and my girlfriend started watching Attack on Titan, and I don't know, I just wanted to draw like a Titan type thing. And I took a picture of myself doing that pose because I wanted to do a weird pose. And I drew myself in like a weird Titan form where the world burns. I don't know why I said that. Sometimes I just draw random things. Don't pay too much mind to the things. And here in this drawing, this is actually my car in the moment. I remember specifically I was going through some car troubles, and there's a video on my channel actually. You can see that I was going through some car troubles. I didn't have the money to fix it or the means or anything. So I was like, I can't physically fix my car right now in the real world, so I'm gonna draw the car on paper and manifest it somehow, I guess. Eventually I got it fixed, thank God, but yeah, more shapes, more random stuff. You can see a cup here, practicing some perspective. Again, more shapes, some notes on what I want to study. Little character that I drew, manipulating some shapes. After I got bored with the shapes, I'm like, I want to draw some hands and an actual face and stuff. So I drew this little character guide, kind of like bending the shapes and being like a shape bender. And here, this is an early storyboard, kind of like breakdown of what I wanted to do for this animation that I ended up animating, but I never posted or released it just because it didn't really make sense, and I wasn't too happy with the end result. It was just supposed to be like a little character climbing the ladder, sprays painting something onto something, and that was basically it. More torsos and stuff. This page is obviously not done. You got a sketchbook, you're never gonna have full, complete, perfect pages. I learned that. At first, you can see that I was trying to like fill the pages, make it super pretty, but then I was like, you know what? This is a practice ground. So I took the pressure off, and I felt like that's one of the best things that I could have done for myself, to actually be able to get stuff that I like. And then in this page, I got the, again, from that pack of pencils my girlfriend brought me, there was also these crayon looking things, and I wanted to color with them. So I made myself this little character. His name is Croak. I have this whole little character summary here. He's the lead guitarist of this fake band that I was gonna create called the Bluettes. He loves blueberry muffins. He'll fight you for a muffin, indeed, actually, apparently. And he has a green thumb, surprisingly. Even though, you know, you'd think a rock star wouldn't really care about plants, but this guy does. And then here I was gonna create the lead singer. His name was gonna be Blue, obviously, because he's a blueberry. He's a talking, walking blueberry apparently. And he has this little epic haircut because, you know, blueberries have a little weird thing on top of their head. And here he was looking super old. I don't know why. Oh, and this is actually just a random comic that I made of my dog. It started off me just drawing her while she was sitting on the porch. And I'm like, I want to make this into something actually like fun. So I drew this little mini comic where, okay, let's go through it. She's like, God damn it, we'll never find it at this rate. No, I have to find it or he will. We don't know who he is yet. And then he goes, she's basically on this underwater submarine, looking underground for this ancient fire hydrant that's never be peed on by any other dog. As you can see here, she spots it and it has a dog pee count of 0. For some reason, they keep track of it in this world. And she sees it and she's like, Nani? You can see her expression is all like confused and excited. On here, I have this little tidbit where she's exploring or whatever. And then she cuts down to this part and you can see he from earlier is actually peeing on it. So she wasn't the first dog to ever pee on it, and here she's devastated. She's like, no! And she's crying and praying to the gods of doggies. And again, more pictures of my dogs. This is my dog Lou. I had this really cute picture of him that I took with my iPhone and I just wanted to draw it. He was wagging his tail, so I tried to give a little motion there at the end. This is a picture I drew for my sister. Just so I found this old picture of her when she was younger in elementary school. You know, we all know those elementary portraits that they make you take. And I drew it and I sent it to her. She really loved it. Here is this. I was drawing this. I had a rough pencil animation test for this random screaming like Yeti thing that I wanted to go for. I never actually ended up fully animating it, but I was trying to get a character for it. And here I actually started this course by a very famous animator called Aaron Blaze. He offers a lot of really cool courses on his website, The Creature Art Teacher. And I'm just a huge fan of that guy. So I started his course and you can see here I'm practicing my eyes. Just from those couple days of me doing the course, I felt like I learned so much from it. But you can see here I'm drawing like the skull. This part of the course is focused on eyes, so that's why you mainly just see the eyes on the characters and like the basic form of the head. So that he was explaining like where they land on the head and all that stuff. You can see more here. I'm drawing more eyes, and if you don't already know, he was a Disney animator. So you can tell by the style is very Disney-esque, that old 2D style of Disney, the big Pixar eyes kind of. I actually have a lot more in another sketchbook that I have that I practice into. And here I was just practicing baby eyes. You can see they're a lot cuter. He's got a little big nose, female eyes here, a little bit more seductive or whatnot. And that's basically it. That is the end of the sketchbook. I have some blank pages here I have to fill up, just a couple, but we'll get through those eventually. And that was basically the end of the sketchbook tour. As you can see, sketchbooks aren't perfect. I learned that the hard way. Trying to fill up all these pages, trying to make it look super awesome. I didn't actually end up doing Inktober this year because the year before that, I kind of burnt myself out. I did Inktober and another challenge by an artist that I follow on Instagram called Promptober, which was a digital art challenge. I was doing both at the same time and I actually completed both. I did 30 drawings for Inktober and I did 30 drawings for Promptober, all in the span of October, which burnt me out to the point of not drawing for like a month and a half, basically. It was not a healthy relationship I had at the time with me and drawing. I was trying to grind it out, you know, the real artist mindset or whatever. But then I realized that I needed to pace myself a little better and that this is a marathon, not a sprint. So you can basically see here for my sketchbook again, just keep things loose, keep things fun, draw what you like. And eventually you'll get something, you know, not everything's gonna be gold, you know, you're gonna strike garbage a lot of times, more than you strike gold, but every now and then you'll see some cool pages. And yeah, that's basically how art works, is what I learned. And yeah, that's pretty much it. This is the sketchbook tour. Thanks for watching.